A night of grief and prayer. First, tonight, under rainy skies, family and friends remember young Adriel Moxie in a candlelight vigil. With the community shaken, police question a suspect. This as we get an update of some missing boys. And we'll tell you the $300 million debt swap for conservation as government eyes major savings. Details of the loan and how it's set to benefit taxpayers. Plus, Amazon and DHL teaming up to deliver right to your door. But how does it really work? We sit down with DHL Bahamas country manager to break it all down in an Our News exclusive. Then in Our News at 7:30, as Focal chairman calls for fairness in petroleum margins. The economic affairs chief says the issue never reached his desk. Why retailers got an increase, but wholesalers didn't. Our News live at 7 starts right now. Welcome to Our News live at 7. Thanks for joining us tonight. I'm Candino Knowles. A solemn scene last night at the entrance of the track road where the body of 12-year-old Adriel Moxie was found on Faith Avenue South. A candlelight vigil was held in her honor, attended by family members and friends, including her mother and aunt. Despite the rainy weather, the small group spent an hour lighting candles, hugging, and praying together while singing songs such as Carry Your Candle and God Favored Me. Although the attendees chose not to speak on camera, they shared their gratitude for the support they had received, but expressed disappointment over the low turnout. They called on residents to be more considerate during such difficult times. Police have confirmed that a 32-year-old man has been taken into custody for questioning in connection with the case, the incident sparking outrage and concern amongst residents, some of whom remember her life tonight, coming up in Our News at 7:30. And police also expressing concern over the troubling increase in missing children cases. In addition to Adriel, 2 other children were reported missing this week. 10-year-old Evan Olisma and 16-year-old Kivano Farrington were both subjects of Marco's alerts. Thankfully, both Olisma and Farrington have since been found. Here's Police Press Liaison Officer Chief Superintendent Kristen Skipping speaking to the issue.
We see a pattern where there are behavioral challenges and on the young people who were reported missing, challenges with accepting discipline from their parents in most instances. We also saw instances where family members are not communicating.
And the chief superintendent had this word of advice for parents.
We need to communicate with them, but if we have them in our care, we need to communicate and keep the communication flowing. What was also notable for me as I sat and listened and talked with some of them, in all of these instances, in most of them, either one parent is deceased or both parents are deceased. And so it says to us that there's something that is going on deeper within our young people that we need to look into.
And now to the Davis administration, which has launched a debt reduction initiative aimed at marine conservation. The project will be funded through a $300 million loan from Standard Chartered Bank, backed by the Inter-American Development Bank. According to Economic Affairs Minister Michael Alkitis, the loan will be used to pay off existing debt at a lower interest rate. Over the 15-year term of the agreement, the initiative is expected to save taxpayers more than $124 million. Alkitis says these savings will be directed into the Bahamas Protected Areas Fund for marine conservation efforts. So how does the country benefit from this agreement?
We still borrow money, we still have to pay the loan, but very, very simply, what you're doing is you're paying off something that you were paying a high interest rate on and replacing it with a lower interest rate. So if you were to personalize it, you might say, okay, you're paying off your credit card bill that was at 16% and getting a loan for 8% or so. So what we're doing is paying off high interest debt and replacing it with low interest debt. And what that means is the interest that you have to pay every year is significantly lower.
The IDB, or the Debt Conservation Project, is part of a broader IDB program that supports key policies. IDB Bahamas representative Shirley Gale says the project represents the power of partnership and demonstrates how small island developing states can mobilize resources reduce fiscal pressures, and tackle environmental challenges.
This work really represents a continuation of the work in the blue economy that the bank has been supporting in the Bahamas for some time now. It demonstrates our commitment to the country in an area that is critical to its economic and sustainable growth.
News of Amazon's partnership with DHL has taken Bahamian social media by storm recently, promising direct-to-your-door delivery. But many are wondering, how does it all work? Marlena Leonard recently sat down with the country manager of DHL Bahamas.
Amazon is now one of our customers, like we are just one of their carriers. We have many customers, and Amazon for us is just like any other customers. Of course, it creates a lot of excitement because it is Amazon, but Amazon was already a customer in the US way before. It's just now that recently they decided to also use DHL to ship to Caribbean islands.
And DHL is definitely seeing the interest. Country manager Patrick Gillis tells us their average call count has gone from around 100 calls to 300 calls a day, buzzing with curious consumers asking how it all works. We asked if the offer is only for Nassau.
Well, it is actually for the entire Bahamas, but it is limited capacity into the family islands. We have a little more into Freeport because we also have 3 employees over there.
Gillis even recently testing the process himself. He says he ordered on Wednesday and had the package in hand on Friday. The country manager says the process is simple.
You go to the website. On the left top side, you change ship to Bahamas. Then you need to do some registration where it's personal details. Important there is that you put your home address in or your work address, whatever you want to. But usually it's home address, as complete as possible, with also your full contact details.
At checkout, any of the shipping and import fees are factored in, sparing the guessing on the actual cost to bring something in. You'll have to register for Click to Clear when you bring something Air Express for the first time. And there's one more important step, Gillis tells us.
We will need you to complete and sign a C44 form, which you need to return with a copy of your ID. Now that C44 is to give DHL authorization to clear and deliver. That's a step that people don't know yet, so we will have that on the Amazon website. And then it's a smooth sailing. As soon as you do that, you can do that even before the goods arrive. When the goods then arrive, we can do the entry, we can clear it with customs, and we can deliver it to your doorstep because delivery by DHL is free.
Reporting for Our News, I'm Marlena Leonard.
All right, thanks a lot for that, Marlene. If you want to see that story again, be sure and head over to ournews.bs. And now to healthcare. As Edenwell's new dialysis unit officially opened Friday morning on Madeira Street, marking a big step forward for renal care in the Bahamas. The ribbon-cutting ceremony, attended by medical professionals and community leaders. The facility is equipped with 13 state-of-the-art Bebron dialysis machines and is designed to provide top-tier care for kidney disease patients. A standout feature, the transplant bell, symbolizing hope for those who undergo successful kidney transplants. Medical Director Dr. LeVard Roberts says the new center reflects Edenwell's dedication to improving healthcare access and patient outcomes.
Our ultimate goal is to prepare patients for kidney transplantation, the best long-term solution for end-stage renal disease. This unit will look to serve as a conduit, providing the support network that is integral to making the transition as seamless as possible. In the future, we envision a healthcare system where no Bahamian with kidney disease feel left behind. Whether through dialysis, transplant, or preventative care, we are building a foundation that is comprehensive kidney health services.
All right, we've got much more to get to tonight, but for now, it's time for your first look at temperatures. Meteorologist Greg Thompson is in the Weather Center. Greg?
Yeah, thanks, Gindino, and a happy TGI for everybody. It's been a beautiful day around the islands. Temperatures managed to get up into the mid to upper 70s. We're expecting some mid-70s through tomorrow because we have a secondary front coming through. 70 degrees is our current temperature outside our studios right now with a few clouds. Your winds are out of the northwest at 16 miles per hour, and that's bringing in that nice cool air mass. Feels like a comfortable and cool 69 degrees on the outside. Temperatures around the islands right now across the northwest Bahamas, 68s in Freeport, Grand Bahama, also in Marshall, Barbacoa, we pick up 69 in Great Harbour Key. Over in Alistown, Bimini, 73, 69 in Nicholstown, Andros, the Big Yard, 70 here in the capital, Governor's Harbour, 71. Central Bahamas, 70. Kemps Bay, 71 in Arthurstown, Cat Island, 72. Georgetown, the Exumas, Deadman's Key, 73. Coburn Town, San Salvador, 75. And into the Southeast Bahamas, 77 in Duncantown, Ragged Island. We pick up 74. Colonel Hill, Cricket Island, Delectable Bay, 75. 79 in Abrahams Bay, 82 in Providenciales, Tricks and Giggles Islands, and Matthewtown, now with deep south. You round out a temperature profile at 80 degrees. Satellite radar composite. That frontal boundary that moves through the capital last evening is now into the central and southeast Bahamas. Falling apart, we still have a couple of isolated showers, very small showers associated with that, and that front will continue to sag towards the southeast, but we do expect a secondary rush of cooler air mass moving into our area. We're basically calling that a secondary front. That should get near sometime by this evening and into tomorrow, and that will drop our temperatures even further for the weekend. That's your first look at weather. Stick with us. A look at your extended forecast is still to come.
Coming up in sports, BJ Edgecombe and Baylor may have just played the game of the year. We'll tell you how his homecoming went at Bahamas Hoops.
Each week, we go into the heart of our second city and talk to the people helping to
Hey, Greg Thompson here, and thank you for watching. Be sure to hit that follow button. And if you want to see more content like this, follow all of our news social media pages. And hey, don't forget to turn on your notifications so you never miss out on the top stories from the team you already trust.
Hey, you want to catch the Charlie Bahamas show this week? Because I'm not the one you're going to want to see the Charlie Bahamas show for. You're going to want to see it for... psych! No, for the both of them. Amazing, amazing actors, and one happens to be Bahamian. Charlie Bahama this week with Simone and Dorian Missick.
The Charlie Bahama Show, every Friday night, 8 p.m. on Cable Bahamas, Channel 212.
Long Island is the best kept secret.
Join us as we count down the Rev Up Top 7.
And you'll never be the one.
Tune in to relive the magic of one of the Bahamas' oldest and most iconic events, the 2024 Rollville Exuma Regatta. From thrilling native sloop races to delicious Bahamian food, games, and unforgettable entertainment. It was a celebration of culture, history, and pure island fun. Catch all the highlights, behind-the-scenes moments. Don't miss the exclusive recap of the 2024 Rollville Exuma Regatta. Tune in and relive the adventure, only on Our TV.
My name is Trevi Williams. I've been a Live Fiber customer since March 2024. The installation process was seamless, effortless, and extremely fast. The gentlemen that came to the installation were very helpful, reliable, very knowledgeable, and the time allocated to do the installation was shorter than the time specified. Yeah, the previous provider I had, I noticed that the internet speed actually had intermittent on the services, so I was very grateful that the...
Welcome to Our Sports at 7, presented by 10th Year Seniors. I'm Ronaldo Dorset. That's John Mark Nutt. Let's do show. As a highly touted recruit at a powerhouse program like Florida State, playing against a top 25 team in primetime is a top priority. Unless you're Myron Rolle and you had plans on being so much more than a football player. On November 22, 2008, Rolle's story grabbed headlines and he gained international notoriety for becoming this generation's avatar for blending excellence in sports and academics. Rolle's Florida State Seminoles headed to College Park, Maryland for a pivotal matchup against ACC rival and 25th ranked Maryland, but they did so without one of their leaders on defense. Rolle's interview for the prestigious Rhodes Scholarship was originally scheduled at the same time as the Maryland game, but the NCAA, which never allows anyone to do anything, allowed Rolle to take a chartered plane from his interview in Alabama to College Park. Of course, he nailed the interview and was officially awarded the scholarship less than 3 hours before kickoff. He became the 4th Florida State student and 3rd Bahamian to receive the award. Roll went straight from the tarmac to CQ Stadium and entered the game against Maryland late in the first half. He finished with 2 tackles and the Seminoles went on to win 37-3. That season, he went on to earn AP Third Team All-American, Second Team All-ACC, and Academic All-American honors. A member of Kappa Alpha Psi fraternity, Roll chose to study at Oxford and pursue his master's in medical anthropology. He returned to football the following year and was selected by the Tennessee Titans in the 2010 NFL Draft. After 3 years in the NFL, Roll returned to academia full-time in FSU's medical school and went on to become a neurosurgeon.
That was back then. Here's what's coming up in our sports tonight. It took a buzzer beater in double overtime, but VJ Edgecombe and the Baylor Bears advanced at Bahamas Hoops. The Caribbean Cup is back in Nassau next month, this time the under-15 division. Lamar Taylor continues to shine in his transition to Tennessee, and of course, the 10YS Players of the Week.
That'll do it for our sports. Stay tuned to our news at 7:30 for details on these stories and more.
When our news comes back from the break, we turn our spotlight to stories making headlines across the world as Doctors Without Borders suspend services in Haiti's capital following a deadly attack on its staff and patients. Plus, Illinois Supreme Court reverses Jussie Smollett's conviction, ruling a special prosecutor shouldn't have intervened after charges were dropped. And just days after a $165 million fine, the U.S. government targets Ford with 2 fresh probes over recall problems. Find out what's next for the automaker when our news returns.
My name is Atreyu Williams. I've been a Live Fiber customer since March 2024. The installation process was seamless, effortless, and extremely fast. The gentlemen that came to the installation were very helpful, reliable, very knowledgeable, and the time allocated to do the installation was shorter than the time specified. Yeah, the previous provider I had, I noticed that the internet speed actually had intermittent on the services, so I was very grateful that the live fiber was available in my area. Once I was able to make the switch, my service and everything I needed was satisfied. My favorite feature would actually be being able to add any apps from the Play Store. It's just basically making any dumb TV a smart TV. I do a lot of back-end support, engineering support, helping clients working remotely when I'm from home. The internet is a very important aspect of my job and my life. My name is Atreyu Williams, and the future is home with a live fiber.
Yo, what's good, my loyal viewers? Ronaldo Dorset of 10YS here. First of all, thanks so much for watching, but be sure to hit that follow button. If you'd like to see more content like this, follow all of the Our News social media pages, and of course, don't forget to turn on your notifications so you never miss out on the top stories from the team, well, from the teams you already trust.
Each week, we go into the heart of our second city and talk to the people helping to shape this community.
This is what makes me happy to come to work every day, to know that I'm helping someone.
These are the faces of the Grand Bahama Port Authority, helping to maintain infrastructure, grow the economy, and bring a better quality of life.
Our mission statement is to better the life.
Because I have to be a part of Grand Bahama.
Join me, Italia Hall, every Wednesday at 7:30 p.m. right here on Our News as we share these inspiring stories of Freeport. Stay with the team you already trust.
Bulk up your business and communication with parents, students, and staff in seconds with a live business bulk SMS messaging. This is the perfect tool.
This is our news. Welcome back. We turn our attention now to stories making headlines across the world. Doctors Without Borders, or Médecins Sans Frontières in French, has suspended its operations in Port-au-Prince after a violent attack on its staff and the alleged killing of 2 patients by Haitian police. The incident happened on November 11th when police and a paramilitary group reportedly stopped an MSF ambulance, dragged out 2 patients, and executed them. The decision comes as violence escalates in Haiti. On Tuesday alone, 25 people killed during a police operation to stop a gang invasion in the upscale Pétionville area. MSF condemned the violence and says it cannot safely continue its work in the capital for now. The Illinois Supreme Court on Thursday overturned actor Jussie Smollett's conviction for staging a racist and homophobic attack in 2019. The court ruled 5-0 that a special prosecutor should not have intervened after initial charges were dropped in exchange for Smollett forfeiting $10,000 and completing community service. The decision did not address Smollett's innocence claim, though, but it highlighted the injustice of voiding agreements defendants rely on. Smollett had been sentenced to 150 days in jail, probation, and $130,000 in restitution after a 2021 conviction for disorderly conduct. And a new Pew Research Center report shows about 1 in 5 Americans, including both Republicans and Democrats, regularly get their news from digital influencers, mostly on platforms like X. Pew surveyed over 10,000 U.S. adults and analyzed posts from influencers with 100,000 plus followers. Topics ranged from politics and social issues to international events. Most influencers, 77%, aren't tied to traditional media, and half don't lean politically. Both political parties have embraced this trend, courting influencers to reach younger, diverse audiences during the presidential race. However, analysts warned this shift could boost misinformation since influencers aren't bound by editorial standards. And just days after fining Ford up to $165 million for recall delays, the U.S. government launched 2 new investigations into recall issues. The biggest probe covers 457,000 Ford Bronco Sports and Mavericks recalled for sudden power loss. Now, some owners say the fix didn't work. Another investigation targets 113,000 Ford Expeditions from 2019 to 2020. Ford recalled 78,000 for faulty seatbelts, but 3 complaints involve vehicles outside the recall. Regulators want to know if more cars should be included. Ford says it's cooperating as scrutiny ramps up. Still to come in our news, today in history, find out interesting facts about the day that was November 22nd. Then in our news at 7:30, Amazon's new DHL partnership shaking up Bahamian shopping. But with calls flooding in, Consumer Protection Commission Chairman Randy Roll breaks it all down. The answers you need coming up. But first, outrage and heartbreak in Faith Avenue South as residents mourn the loss of young Adrielle Moxie. Business owners and workers share their memories and concerns when our news returns.
Each week, we go into the heart of our second city and talk to the people helping to shape this community.
This is what makes me happy to come to work every day, to know that I'm helping someone.
These are the faces of the Grand Bahama Port Authority, helping to maintain infrastructure, grow the economy, and bring a better quality of life.
Our mission statement is to better the life.
Because I have to be a part of Grand Bahama.
Join me at Talia Hall every Wednesday at 7:30 p.m. right here on Our News as we share these inspiring stories of Freeport. Stay with the team you already trust.
Bulk up your business and communication with parents, students, and staff in seconds with a live business bulk SMS messaging. This is the perfect tool to keep you connected and easily send important updates, event reminders, and emergency alerts. Keep your campus informed and connected with bulk SMS messaging from a live business. The right choice for fast, reliable communication. For more information, contact the experts.
Candino Notes here, and thank you so much for watching. Be sure and hit that follow button if you want to see more stories like this. Be sure and follow all of the Our News social media pages. And hey, don't forget, turn on your notifications so you never miss out on top stories from the team you already trust. November 23, 1844, the first edition of the Nassau Guardian was published. The first issue was very small, measuring 10 inches, containing 2 columns, and consisted of 8 pages. The newspaper was founded by Edwin Charles Mosley, a journalist from London, England, who previously worked at the Times. Today, the newspaper has an expanded radio and digital offering and was partnered with Cable Bahamas for the development of the former NB12 and Our News. The newspaper is located on Carter Street in New Providence. Also on this day in 1964, Olympic medalist Frank Rutherford Jr. was born in Nassau. Rutherford is a retired multi-medal winning triple jumper, winning the Bahamas' first Olympic gold medal in a track and field event, the 3rd medal overall at the Summer Olympic Games in Barcelona, Spain in 1992. After retiring, Rutherford became a trainer, coach, and philanthropist and started the Frank Rutherford Foundation, a Houston, Texas-based program to assist young Bahamian sports people in gaining academic qualifications. In 2010, he co-founded CSR 103.5 FM radio. And speaking of the Olympics, the release of plans for launch of the modern games happened on this day in 1892 by Pierre de Coubertin at the annual general meeting of the Union of French Athletic Sports Societies. Then in 1897, the portable pencil sharpener was patented by American inventor John Lee Love. In 1909, the Wright brothers formed a $1 million corporation to manufacture airplanes. A group of high schoolers got the chance of a lifetime to share the court with 2024 WNBA Finals MVP Jonquel Jones. The all-girls basketball clinic took place at Kendall Isaac's gym and served as the grand finale of Jones's recent homecoming tour. Our Sasha Lightbourne was there and spoke to several of the campers about the experience.
I don't like using my left hand, so she was trying to show me how to lay out with my left hand. So that's something I have to work on, and I will work on that.
That was Valtanique Simmons, one out of several girls that got to participate in a basketball clinic hosted by 2024 WNBA Finals MVP Jonquel Jones. The clinic was held yesterday at the Kendall Isaac's gym and was the last in a series of events held to celebrate JJ's MVP success, along with the success of her New York Liberty Championship run this year.
It's a great experience. It's my first time meeting her and actually seeing her in person. To be here is a great opportunity. I feel like as girls, it's good to come together, to train together and get to know new people.
And Tatiana Weaver agreed.
We getting to actually experience such a professional practice with everyone else, and also getting to be with the other girls that also play basketball here in the Bahamas. I think it's such a great experience for all us to be able to get that groundwork, especially for us who wants to go and play college basketball one day, and even for those that want to be in the WNBA sometime soon.
The girls participated in dribbling and shooting drills and were taught other elements of the game from JJ. Tajanique Morley and Rainia Russell also attended the clinic.
It's a good experience to try and learn new things from a champ. It feels really awesome to, be exposed to the environment where she grew up over here in the Bahamas as well, and to also go away and win the MVP and the championship herself. It feels, it keeps me open to new ideas and to be open to see new strategies and talents that produce from the Bahamas.
Reporting for our news, I'm Sasha Lightbourne.
All right, good stuff. Thank you for that, Sasha. If you want to watch that story again and for all of today's top stories, you can visit ournews.bs and, of course, share your favorite stories from Our News Bahamas on Facebook. It's going to do it for us in News at 7. Joining us now, Atalia Hall. The latest headlines. Atalia?
Happy Friday.
Happy Friday.
It's chilly outside and I'm ready for the weekend.
Me too. But wait, are you traveling this weekend?
I'm not.
Or is that Monday?
Monday.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
I'll
Listen,
be gone for a bit.
You remember what to bring me back,
Yes.
right? Okay.
All right. And remember your chance to start the new year in style. This Boxing Day, you could drive away in a brand new all-electric 2024 BYD SUV. Visit ournews.bs, click the Ride Easy with Our News banner, answer the question correctly, and you're entered to win. Good luck. Before you head over to our website, here are your latest headlines. A community grieves and demands answers. First tonight on Our News at 7:30. A devastated community mourning the loss of 12-year-old Adriel Moxie, calling on authorities to ensure justice in the wake of the tragic discovery. And the Bahamas Christian Council president issuing an urgent call for collective efforts to safeguard children following the heartbreaking discovery of 12-year-old Adriel Moxie. The incident shining a spotlight on the critical need for enhanced protection measures. Also, the Social Services Department weighing in. This as they are encouraging parents to seek professional help and resources for their children exhibiting behavior beyond their parental control. And later, the Economic Affairs Minister says the margin increase for wholesalers didn't come across his desk. We have his full comments when Our News at 7:30 returns.
I love my EV. I am Generation E.
I am Generation E. I am Generation E.
And I am Generation E.
This holiday season, the Ministry of Energy and Transport is bringing light back to Bahamian homes. Through our partnership with Bahamas Power and Light, we're offering the Merry and Bright Holiday Reconnection Program, so you can pay as little as 10% of your outstanding balance and get reconnected. Just in time for the holidays. Pay a little, light up a lot. The Ministry of Energy and Transport is committed to making sure no family is left in the dark this season.
Inti Corporation is on the move, day by day, panel by panel. Our commitment to sustainable energy becomes more real. With each milestone, Inti redefines what is possible. Not only are the Lucayas solar power projects on the island of Grand Bahama growing in scale, they are setting a new standard for energy independence in the Bahamas. These state-of-the-art solar farms at the Fairfield and Devon sites, once completed, will harness the power of the sun to generate 9.5 megawatts of clean, sustainable energy. Inti is on the move as a beacon of progress and innovation that is rapidly transforming our energy landscape. Witness the future of sustainable energy unfolding on the island of Grand Bahama as Inti Corporation shines brighter than ever. Inti Corporation, powering your world, powering your future.
This holiday season, Our News and Easy Car Sales want to put you in a brand new electric ride.
Each week, tune into Our News at 7 and 7:30 for clues to questions about easy car sales, electric vehicles, and Generation E. Head over to our website, ournews.bs, for your chance to answer weekly trivia and enter to win.
It's simple. Answer correctly and you're automatically entered for your chance to win a brand new electric vehicle.
Are you or a loved one under medical care? Do you...
Welcome to our news. Thanks so much for joining us. I'm Natalia Hall. Residents in the Faith Avenue South community are speaking out following the death of a 12-year-old girl, Adriel Moxie, who was found through a track road near the Anatole Rogers High School 3 days ago, sparking concern and anger amongst residents. Our Joshua Williams spoke to business owners and workers who say she was an active part of the neighborhood.
The community that was home to 12-year-old Adriel Moxie is still reeling after a tragic death. The preteen was found dead in bushes just feet away from her home on Wednesday. Police say she was wearing only a shirt and a white cloth tied around her neck. The tragic incident was shocking for the nation, with many asking how this could have possibly happened. Yesterday, we spoke to Pastor Cleveland Wells, who says she was an active member of his church. But Adriel was also active in her community. This business owner says Adriel and her daughter attended the same club, and she saw her last Friday.
When they came over, she brought my daughter, and my daughter get in the car, and I wanted to drop her home, right? I say, boy, you know how some parents go, you know, whatever. So I asked my daughter, I say, you think I should drop her home? She say, yeah, mommy, let's give her a ride. I say, okay.
Kenyatta's barber shop is across the street from Anatole Rogers High School. He says although he's only seen Adriel a handful of times, the situation as a father pains him.
Man, I hurt. I have a 12-year-old right now. I have a twin 12-year-old. So I'm in pain. I'm hurt. That hurt me a lot. I as a father. And all the kids I'm in the back here, everyone know me from 9 years now. How I treat kids, how I deal with the boys. I was like a father to a lot of them.
Now I spoke to a worker who works in this corner store. He says little Adriel would come into here from time to time, even carrying out small jobs.
From she started, I used to put a little couple money and couple dollars inside her pocket or whatever. So I say, you know what, since you come into summer school and I see you usually ain't have no money, cheapest you come here, help me, and when you come, I can just put a couple dollars inside your pocket for you to go. So I remember one time she did tell me, say she never really used to have no water at the house, or she had no fridge. So I used to make sure when she leaving too, she used to go carry a gallon of water, and then she used to put it inside the freezer to make sure it's cool.
Police say a 32-year-old man has been taken into custody for questioning.
Reporting for Our News, I'm Joshua Williams.
The Bahamas Christian Council president lends his voice to the tragic and senseless killing of 12-year-old Adriel Moxie. The little girl's body was found Wednesday afternoon in a bushy area through a track road located in the Bone Pond Farm, just off Faith Avenue South. Council President Bishop Delton Fernandez calling for an immediate and united action to protect children in the community.
As pastors and parents, we are extremely saddened by the senseless killing of such a young, beautiful child within one of our communities. The death of young Moxie has left many of us in deep shock and without words to express the depravity we sense in our nation, the place that we've arrived, and the sense of we need to do something right now. She was violently taken from us and as such was denied the opportunity to blossom into what God will have her to be.
The council is urging Bahamians to take personal responsibility during this Thanksgiving season to check on their neighbors, walk children to school, and make their presence known in their communities.
Each sector must come together, each political party must put down their divisive nature and reach a point where our citizens, and especially our vulnerable children, are more important than filthy lucre. The time is now to hear the voice of God calling us to stand, having done all to stand. It's still time to stand. In this coming week, as we prepare for Thanksgiving, let's check on someone. Let's walk our children to school. Let's be visual in our neighborhood. Let's do good and change the narrative of our country.
Well, days after two boys were found safe and in good health following a Marcos alert, Assistant Director at the Department of Social Services, Deidre Hepburn, is advising parents to get help with children who are beyond parental control. It comes after police press liaison officer Chief Superintendent Kristen Skipping shared the two missing boys suffered from disciplinary challenges. Hepburn says there's legislation that addresses parents who find themselves in this situation.
In the past, the law stated that children are to be taken to the police station first of all. That has since changed. If they are beyond parental control, the first step is the Department of Rehabilitative and Welfare Services.
Hepburn says there have been a lot of requests for the department about children with disciplinary issues. On average, she says the majority of children they see are 12 years old and up. She outlined how the process works.
First of all, it's the individual counseling. I think we prefer to exhaust every avenue before that child is taken before the court. Now, in cases where there are other family members who the child can be placed with, because at times certain situations are occurring in the home that may be affecting that young person. So in cases where a family member is prepared to assist, then we reach out to them first of all.
Days after FOCO Chairman Sir Franklin Wilson called the margin increase for petroleum retailers unfair, Economic Affairs Minister Michael Halkita says the issue never officially came before him. Wilson said wholesalers have gone more than 2 decades without any adjustments. The increase for the retailers, however, came after around 2 years of agitation for the increase, but it seems wholesalers didn't push for an increase.
I've seen some stuff in the newspaper. I haven't seen anything come across my desk as Minister of Economic Affairs, but as I said, the Prime Minister has already spoken to that issue.
So they haven't spoken to you?
No.
Earlier this week, Prime Minister Philip Davis said government is looking to find ways to lower the cost for wholesalers. The margin increase for retailers came into effect back in October, implementing a 25-cent increase per gallon on gasoline and 16-cent increase per gallon on diesel. While they were satisfied with the increase, retailers suggested a fixed percentage margin. Alquita says it has come up in discussion with retailers.
Going forward, I mean, we're prepared to just continue any discussion as to, how we can make the whole thing better. As I said during this whole time as well, is that, they face a lot of pressures.
Consumer Protection Commission Chairman Randy Roll says they've been in touch with DHL since the rollout of their new Amazon partnership. News of Amazon's partnership with DHL has took Bahamian social media by storm recently, promising upfront transparency with shipping and import fees and direct-to-your-door delivery. But many are wondering, how does it all work? Roll says consumers were calling into the Consumer Protection Commission concerned and confused about the process.
What it did was it sparked
something from us to go and have a conversation with DHL, which we're pleased to say that we did. It was a very fruitful conversation, and we've had great communication. And so what we're trying to do as a commission is get in front of the complaint before it hits us on the back end. And so what we've done, and like I said in our communication, even with DHL, we've found out that everything that you want to know, even if you agree with it or not, is right there in the fine print. And so we encourage our consumers to read it.
And the chairman says with their consumers first mentality, they support competition, but he says it's important to be an informed consumer.
Like I said, do your research. Check several items, check several sites. Look to see who has the best prices. And then based on it, you can make your decision. And for some consumers, it's not just about price, it's about convenience. And so the fact that someone can bring something to my door, that may be a convenience for me. And I'm like, okay, well, this is something I want. The good thing about it is that whatever you want and whatever you need, you can find it out there with a little research.
All right, well, chilly temperatures across our chain of islands just in time for the weekend. Meteorologist Greg Thompson is in the Weather Center with your first look at weather. Greg.
Yeah, thanks, Natalia, and a happy Friday evening, everybody. Beautiful conditions around the islands. Once again, temperatures into the 70s, and we are starting to see the temperatures fall into the low 70s. We expect some 60s tonight. 70 degrees is our current temperature with a few clouds on the outside. Your winds out of the northwest at 16 miles per hour. Feels like temperature, it's in the 60s. 69 degrees is what it feels like on the outside. Satellite and radar composite. Frontal boundary that moved through the capital last evening is now into the central and southeast Bahamas. Basically falling apart. High pressure is building behind that, but we have a secondary rush of cool air mass moving in. We're basically calling that a second front. That's going to be getting in sometime tonight into tomorrow. That will cause our temperatures to fall even further, and we're looking for some beautiful, comfortable conditions for the weekend. Temperatures will stay in the 70s, nighttime temperatures in the upper 50s to low 60s. That's a quick check on conditions around the island. Stick with us. A look at your extended forecast is still to come.
Still to come on our news, Grand Bahama drivers are being celebrated by police for their outstanding road safety practices, highlighting the importance of responsible driving, all in an effort to create safer communities, plus protecting vulnerable sectors from cyber attacks. Cyber Tech Bahamas is on a mission to educate Bahamians about the World Wide Web and how to protect themselves from cyber criminals. And later, the fair takes center stage this weekend in the nation's second city, exploring marriage, relationships, and a dash of scandal. The producer is promising an unforgettable experience when our news continues.
Are you or a loved one under medical care? Do you need affordable medical supplies? Ports International is the largest home healthcare supplier. Medical supplies at the very best price, and you can even shop online. From hospital beds to wound care, wheelchairs to walkers, Ports is a one-stop shop for your medical supplies, and we accept insurance. We have online shopping and 2 locations to serve you, at the Airport Industrial Park and Shirley Street. We also ship to the Family Islands. Shop online and visit us on Facebook. Call Ports at 377-1771.
With some rhythm.
Move your body double time. We're gonna
It's often said that the police are friends of the community, and the Royal Bahamas Police Force's Northern Region recently went above and beyond to demonstrate that in partnership with Alive. This week, officers were highly visible on the streets of Freeport, not to issue tickets, but to educate the public and distribute gifts to motorists. Officer in charge of the Northern Region, Assistant Commissioner of Police Shanta Knoll, says the majority of drivers were found to be in compliance with traffic regulations. As a part of the initiative, 4 drivers were recognized with certificates and fruit baskets for their exemplary behavior on the road.
Is really to continue to educate our drivers so that they would ensure that all their vehicles are in compliance, are roadworthy, they are in possession of their driver's license, their insurance, their vehicles are properly inspected, and all those indicator lights and all those other things that should be working on their vehicles are in good working order. And then, of course, we want to reach out to those who are not in compliance so that we can educate them, not necessarily ticket them, but certainly to educate them so that they can become in compliance with the road traffic regulations.
And these recipients say they are grateful for the kind gesture.
Always comply by the rules. I can't tell the children to be good students if I'm not compliant as well.
It's great to receive this gas voucher this morning.
A recent one-day summit hosted by Cybertech Bahamas looking to raise more awareness as it relates to protecting yourself against cybersecurity threats. While many think about protecting businesses against these threats, Director of Information Technology Matt Wogans notes that your personal information is also at high risk. He shares how one of the most vulnerable sectors in the community, the elderly, is often a target of the attacks.
It's really difficult, right? I mean, they're a generation that grew up without technology. And, you know, I'm 35 and I grew up where I'm seeing these things evolve, and I'm obviously very in tune with it. You know, I have these conversations with my mother now and, you know, my grandparents at the time, and they're never going to understand it. But what you can try to do is just instill that sense of, you know, not necessarily fear, but, hey, question what's happening. If someone calls you and you know your grandson has been arrested and you need to postpone, maybe try and fact check it. Right, fact checking is the most important thing we can do. Seth on the panel made an excellent point with his mother who's 80, and she was like, "Oh no, I can't use LastPass. I heard they had a breach." And it's like the extent of that information that's out there is that reachable.
When our news comes back from the break, the affair takes center stage this weekend in Grand Bahama, exploring marriage, relationships, and a dash of scandal. The producer promising an unforgettable experience coming up.
Coming up in sports, a huge win for Baylor in primetime. The under-15s get set for the Caribbean Baseball Cup. And of course, 10YS Plays of the Week.
And don't miss the highly anticipated Season 11 finale of Charlie Bahamas on RTV tonight when our news continues.
Hey, Greg Thompson here, and thank you for watching. Be sure to hit that follow button. And if you want to see more content like this, follow all of our news social media pages. And hey, don't forget to turn on your notifications so you never miss out on the top stories from the team you already trust.
Hey, you want to catch the Charlie Bahamas show this week? Because I'm not the one you're going to want to see the Charlie Bahamas show for. You're going to want to see it for... psych! No, for the both of them. Amazing, amazing actors, and one happens to be Bahamian. Charlie Bahama this week with Simone and Dorian Missick.
The Charlie Bahama Show, every Friday night, 8 p.m. on Cable Bahamas, Channel 212.
Welcome to Our Sports, presented by 10th Year Seniors. I'm Ronaldo Dorset. That's John Mark Nutt. Let's do show. In a way too early candidate for Game of the Year, BJ Edgecombe got the welcome home win in the most thrilling fashion you could imagine. Edgecombe finished with 10 points, but it was Jeremy Roach's 3 at the buzzer that lifted number 13 Baylor to a 99-98 win over number 22 St. John's last night in double overtime at the Bahamas Convention Center. Edgecombe paid homage to the Bahamas with the flag-themed Kobe 5 PEs, but had just 3 points at the half. After a wardrobe change, he made big plays down the stretch, especially in overtime, and added 4 rebounds, 3 steals, 3 assists, and 2 blocks. The Bears advanced to the Continental Tire Bahamas Hoops Bahamas Championship tonight, where they will face the number 11 Tennessee Volunteers. The Vols defeated Virginia 64-42 in the other semifinals. It will be the 4th matchup against a ranked team this season for Baylor in just 6 games.
Make or miss, proud that we battled back to have that chance, because when it was 6 or 4 or 6, whatever it was in that double OT, I mean, we could have gone away at that point. And VJ hit a huge 3, and then from there executed well.
International baseball will return at the Andre Rogers Baseball Stadium and will host some of the top talents in the region. The Under-15 Caribbean Baseball Cup will be hosted December 4th to 9th and features 5 countries as the Bahamas prepares to take on the Dominican Republic, Cuba, St. Martin, and the U.S. Virgin Islands. The last time this team appeared at a tournament was the World Baseball Softball Confederation Under-15 Pan Am qualifiers last March in the Dominican Republic. Team Bahamas entered the tournament ranked 59th by the WBSC and finished with wins over 10th ranked Panama and 31st ranked Argentina. The Bahamas finished 4th in Group A, just outside of an opportunity to play for the 5th and final spot in the U15 World Cup. They also improved the country's WBSC ranking 12 spots to number 47.
Lamar Taylor continues to deliver standout performances as he makes his transition to the Tennessee Vols, the 11th ranked team in the country. At the Tennessee Invitational, Taylor was a member of the 200-free relay team that set a school record and currently the top time in the nation at 1 minute 13.96 seconds. In the individual 50 free, Taylor posted a time of 19.15 seconds, tied for the 5th best mark in program history. It's Friday, time to archive the work group chat again. Get to it on Monday. For now, let's lock in with top plays. At number 5, Buddy Bunnies is becoming a thing in the Bay. He's been acting different since he became an ambassador.
At number 4, VJ Edgecombe knows what the people came to see, and he delivers. It's a guava duff.
At number 3, AJ Store is starting to get the hang of this Kansas thing. We may hear from them in March.
At number 2, in overtime, a big-time 3 from a big-time player. VJ Edgecombe just doesn't dunk, he's a playmaker.
And at number 1, Jeremy Roach is officially invited to the cookout, the South, whatever Bahamians having. The game winner at the buzzer. Thank you for getting VJ to the finals and giving us content for tonight. That'll do it for our sports. This is 10YS. So the big question is, what does VJ do tonight? He switched the Kobe's at halftime, had a much better game. Baylor came back to win.
As long as it's not double overtime, they're winning regulation. I don't care what shoes he wears.
Heard it here first. Back to the studio.
Still ahead on our news tonight, don't miss the highly anticipated Season 11 finale of Charlie Bahamas on RTV tonight. We have the latest coming up and snuggle weather in the capital to kick off the weekend. Get ready for even lower temperatures. Greg is back with your extended weather forecast when our news returns. Stay with us.
Yo, what's good, my loyal viewers? Ronaldo Dorset of 10YS here. First of all, thanks so much for watching, but be sure to hit that follow button. If you'd like to see more content like this, follow all of the Our News social media pages. And of course, don't forget to turn on your notifications so you never miss out on the top stories from the team, well, from the teams you already trust.
Each week, we go into the heart of our second city and talk to the people helping to shape this community.
This is what makes me happy to come to work every day, to know that I'm helping someone.
These are the faces of the Grand Bahama Port Authority, helping to maintain infrastructure, grow the economy, and bring a better quality of life.
Our mission statement is to better the life.
Because I have to be a part of Grand Bahama.
Join me at Talia Hall every Wednesday at 7:30 p.m. right here on Our News as we share these inspiring stories of Freeport. Stay with the team you already trust.
Bulk up your business and communication with parents, students, and staff in seconds with a live business bulk SMS messaging. This is the perfect tool to keep you connected and easily send important updates, event reminders, and emergency alerts. Keep your campus informed and connected with bulk SMS messaging from a live business. The right choice for fast, reliable communication. For more information, contact the experts.
Candino Notes here, and thank you so much for watching. Be sure and hit that follow button if you want to see more stories like this. Be sure and follow all of the Our News social media pages. And hey, don't forget, turn on your notifications so you never miss out on top stories from the team you already trust.
I love my EV. I am Generation E.
I am Generation E. I am Generation E.
And I am
This is our news. Welcome back. Beautiful conditions around the islands today. We did have that frontal boundary move through the capital last evening. It's now into the central and southeast Bahamas, basically falling apart. A couple of spotty showers associated with that boundary still hanging out across that area. But high pressure is building in, and we do expect a secondary rush of cool air mass. You notice we have some clouds, just a thin line moving across central Florida. That's the other front, or the push of cool air that's going to get in here sometime late tonight and into tomorrow. That's going to allow our temperatures to fall even further. So we're looking at some very lovely conditions. So you have plans for the weekend, get out and enjoy. Temperatures will be in the 70s. Your nighttime temperatures falling into the 60s. Taking a look at our future forecast, that frontal boundary across the central and southeast Bahamas with most of the precipitation out there in the open Atlantic. Very thin line across the area, but we will see an increase in some cloudiness across the central and southeast Bahamas by tomorrow, and that should take us into Sunday, but high pressure is building in behind that, and we're looking for some lovely conditions once again for the weekend. Boating forecast, small craft caution in effect for tonight. We expect those caution flags to be dropped tomorrow. Winds will be out of the northwest and north at 15 knots. They will be gusting higher at times, seas running 3 to 5 feet, but slightly higher along Atlantic exposures. Tide will be low at 7:29 tonight, and high tide takes place at 1:32 tomorrow morning. Here's a look now at your national forecast. In your extended forecast, sunshine across the board. That takes us through next week. We expect temperatures to be in the 70s for the weekend. We expect a slight warming for next week, starting on Monday, but it's going to be a little bit breezy starting the week as we approach the work week, and temperatures will be back into the 80s. Those nighttime temperatures will be in the low 70s, so it's going to get really nice for the next several days. That's a look at our weather. Make it a safe night and have a great weekend, everybody.
All right, thanks so much, Greg. Well, the orange economy continues to thrive in Grand Bahama. This, as well-known writer and producer Corel Pinder, is set to bring her play The Affair to stage at the Regency Theatre this weekend. The production will show at 8 p.m. on Saturday and 4 p.m. on Sunday. This marks Pinder's first return to the Regency Theatre stage since 2018. Produced in collaboration with Michaela Forbes, The Affair explores themes of love, marriage, relationships, and a touch of scandal.
Grand Bahama, we're coming home. And so I would say that's on behalf of Olivia and I. So Olivia Dorset is the star of the show, and she has grown up in the theater. That's where we met. And she has starred in shows like That Chicago, several different other plays. She was the producer and director for the show Clue. And so we also have a well-starred cast out of Nassau who've been in productions for a very long time. They're veterans in the theater realm in Nassau. And so they're coming to bring their talents to Freeport. And it's going to be really, really great.
This is also the first time Pinder has taken a play from New Providence to Grand Bahama. She shares who she believes will enjoy this production the most.
This is a great production if you're single, if you're in a relationship, if you're married, if you're divorced, anybody who has that interest in, hearing more about relationships and seeing how these dynamics unfold. It is a play that has a faith-based theme. And so if you are a believer, I do think that you will appreciate the themes that we addressed in the show.
All right, sounds amazing. Our TV's fall season lineup is wrapping up this week, and that brings us to the end of Charlie Bahama's 11th season. Since its inception during the COVID-19 pandemic, Charlie Bahama has taken us all over the globe to showcase the Bahamas and its talent. Season 11 featured pop band Ajar, the wife of the famous guitarist Carlos Santana, and the season finale will feature an actor you may not have guessed had Bahamian roots.
We have
amazing Bahamian actor Dorian Missick and his beautiful wife Simone. Now, you might not know Dorian is Bahamian. You'll see him. He was in Shirley, that amazing film Shirley. He was also in The Burial with Jamie Foxx, and that's an amazing film. And also, a lot of big films. And his wife Simone, she was on CBS All Rise, and also she was in another big film, Marvel, Luke Cage. So everybody knows that. So they're on the
Charlie's behind-the-scene camera career is just as prolific, with his notable videos including Bahamas Back to the Island and Gin and Coconut Water and the National Youth Choir Celebrate. He makes films, or like Charlie says, films too. Smith also recently attended the Bahamas International Film Festival, where he showcased 2 films he worked on.
year we had 2 amazing ones. I think my theme usually is about Bahamian, heritage, tradition, culture. We had one on Peanuts Taylor, the drum beat. It's all about Peanuts Taylor, the man who created the drum beat, and it's called They Call Me Peanuts. And then another one by Bahamian legend too, Eddie Minnis, Ting and Ting.
Well, new Marco alerts tonight for 2 Andros teens, 13-year-old Demester Doncom Jr. and 13-year-old Shantoni Thompson. Police say Demester was last seen at his residence on Sunday, November 10th. A missing persons bulletin issued this afternoon describes Demester as between 4 feet and 6 feet and 4 feet 7 inches tall, with dark complexion and a slim build. Meanwhile, Shantoni was last seen at his residence in High Rock on Wednesday. A missing bulletin describes him as 4 feet 8 inches, with slim build and light brown complexion. Now, if you have any information on their whereabouts, you're asked to contact police at telephone number 919 or CID at 502-9991. All right, well, remember your chance to start the new year in style this Boxing Day. You could drive away in a brand new all-electric 2024 BYD SUV. Visit ournews.bs, click the Ride Easy with Our News banner, answer the question correctly, and you're entered to win. Good luck. Before you head over to our website, thank you so much for joining us for Our News tonight. On behalf of the entire team, I'm Natalia Hall. We'll see you tomorrow night. Have a great evening. Hi, and thank you for watching. I'm Natalia Hall. Be sure and hit that like and subscribe button if you want to see more content like this. Click right over here. And don't forget to turn on your notifications to see more content from the team you already trust.